Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Jake the Fate, and in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make or replicate the EVH black and yellow or bumblebee guitar. Real quick, right before I get started, this project, it was a little bit difficult because I didn't have the proper guitar. It's going to be a little bit different, it's not going to be exact, but that's how EVH guitars are. I'm going to take you guys to the workbench and I'm going to show you guys how I did it. So the guitar that I'm going to be using, it's going to be a Squire Bullet Series. This is a 1995 made in Korea guitar. And the reason why you would know that is because they put the serial in 95. They started putting the serial number in the plate back here. And again, I got this guitar from Alberto's Music Shop here in Queens. He just had this and he sold it to me for like 50 bucks. So the original thing I wanted was like a guitar that was back routed with the humbucker up here. So it's going to be a little bit tricky trying to do the bumblebee on this. I honestly would recommend you guys the best guitar to get and to work on with is a Kramer Beretta Special, because that's honestly the best thing you can work with because it just has that one humbucker and the one volume knob. I actually have one of those, but I actually ended up doing like a let me just show you guys what I did. So basically, this is what I did. I put my wife's face on this guitar. I was going to use it, but I was like, I don't want her to get pissed or anything. So I ended up putting a Floyd Rose on this thing. Basically like how it sits on the body. Like how that's supposed to be. And this would have been perfect to use for this build. But I didn't want to, just kept it like that. So first of all, this guitar is extremely beat up. It's oxidated. The fretboard is dirty. The frets, I don't know if you guys can see it there. I'm gonna have to recrown this. Polish them all, clean up this fretboard. Maybe change the tuners, I'm not too sure. But the biggest thing is gonna be this, right? So what I'm gonna do for my build, I don't know if you guys are gonna, I would honestly recommend you guys doing it with the Beretta Special, because that's probably the best way. I was gonna get a new one, but I was like, you know what, might as well just do with what I have, and I got this for pretty cheap. What I'm gonna do basically is I'm gonna open this up because I don't know what's under here, and I'm going to be using some Bondo to basically cover up the holes, at least these, and all the other holes. So what I'm thinking of doing is getting a Pickguard and basically kind of doing like the Frankenstrat little Pickguard here, because I'm not really trying to fill this whole thing up and flipping it over and routing the back. I'm just going to work with what I can do. And you know what? It'll just be unique for my guitar. I am going to take this whole thing apart and see what I'm going to be working with inside here. Alright guys, moment of truth. Let's see what's hiding under this thing. Oh man. Dude, honestly, this would have been perfect for like a Frankenstrat because it's got like the actual configuration. But damn. I'm actually thinking, should I? Nah. I'm just going to do what I initially said I was going to do. I don't know. I'm tempted. I'm actually just doing like the Frankenstrat because it's got this, and the one I did didn't have that. Oh my God. This thing is disgusting. Oh my God. There's 500K pots here. This toggle switch, I've never seen one like this, but it's pretty interesting. It's freaking disgusting, to be honest. Let's get started on the body. All right, so I don't think none of this stuff is usable. So I am going to put brand new parts. Maybe I'll use this trim system right here. I don't know. I could just clean it up, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. So it's pretty interesting what's going on here. This body is actually made out of plywood, which is probably like the third guitar that I've ever had that was made out of plywood. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. It's gonna be an EVH guitar, so his guitars were always just like stuff that he just randomly got. Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to clean it up a little bit because this thing is freaking disgusting. Look at all this rust, old compound, leaves, or like old weed or something. Alright, so for the materials, almost basically kind of the same thing I did for the black and white one. Using, again, Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch Paint, the Sun Yellow gloss. They didn't have it. I wanted it in satin, I really did, but they didn't have it. And I'm going to use, again, the Canyon Black in satin because I really liked how this one looked. So I'm going to do that for the paint. The sandpaper, I'm going to use the same one I used in my other video. I'm going to put the link in the description for all this stuff too. So now for the tape, right? In my last video, I used this tape that my wife told me to use. And she recommended me this too, because like she used this in the past too, to make me this thing. This little EVH Frankenstein 5150 little painting. So I'm going to be using that. It's not going to be as thin as like it's supposed to be, but you know what, it'll work. So yeah, I'm going to be using probably just these two. But actually, no, wait, there's different kinds. So yeah, I feel like maybe these can work because I can see there's like 3 types of like thickness. So I'm going to be using this. And I'm taking her word for it because last time that tape screwed me up. And that's pretty much it for materials, right? Basically. Oh wait, the Pickguard. The Pickguard, I'm going to be using this Pickguard. It's the same Pickguard, another one that I used for the black and white one. Because what I'm planning on doing is, like I said, I realized that I wouldn't be able to, I mean, I probably could, but I'm going to have to see what's going to happen. My plan is to basically kind of do like the Frankenstrat thing going and seal up everything else and then just have this as the cavity. I'll maybe paint this like with the yellow stripes. I don't know, maybe, but I'm thinking of just doing that. And the reason why I got this one, not a regular like one from the store or anything, was because it only has the hole here. The other ones had like the selector and like the 3 other holes. So I'm gonna be using this one because it just has the 1 hole that I need. So I'm gonna be using this one. What I'm gonna do is basically fill this whole thing up. Why? Because I realized if I'm gonna want to put a pickup with this, I'm gonna need to have that wood there. I just put a little thing here so it doesn't spill over. Do some Bondo, fill this up, and sand it off, and put the base coat. Basically use the whole can of this. Just fair warning, please use gloves when you do this because this crap, just wear gloves. That's what I'm gonna say, wear gloves. Filled up the holes. I had some like low spots, so I had to just give it 1 more layer. And now I'm gonna sand it all flat. I use 80 grit to, you know, sand it all off. One thing I do recommend you guys doing is, because Bondo's gonna get hard super fast. So what you guys would do is like, you know, try to scrape off like the layers like on the side and everything. If you guys go this route, you guys decide you guys wanna do something like this and patch up the holes up here and just have the 1 pickup down here with the little thing I'm gonna do, then I would say do that. And please, wear gloves. I'm telling you guys right now, it was annoying. All right. That's what it looks like now. Could have done a little better with the routing, but I used a Dremel, so it was, you know, my hand was not the most perfect thing, but hey, a pickup does fit in here. Boom. That's just a little dud I use to check my routes. Got this thing ready to go. That's for the trim system back there. Now, scuff it up a little more. It should be ready for painting. First coat. so we got the body painted already, filled up, painted. I do see some imperfections here, which I should have probably done it. I couldn't really tell, and I've seen a lot of videos from Guitar Guts, and like he always said, like you're gonna always see it, and then you know you add your like first layer of Bondo, and then you spray your first coat, and then you get to see it like your base coat, and then you know you kind of go back and refill it. But anyways, what we're gonna do is just basically get started on the stripes. All right, so here I have a rough sketch of it because I'm noticing that this tape is a little bit thicker than it's supposed to be, but you know what? It's fine for what it is. It's not gonna be as perfect, you know. It's not gonna be like his guitar. I'm using him showing it to us, like, all right, guys, this is how it's supposed to look. Don't fuck it up. I'm trying to like replicate it as close as possible, but it's a little bit trickier than it is like all his guitars. First doing the front, because I'm trying to get this part first. This part's a little tricky because I need to see other sides of the guitar, see where it actually, these things actually lead to. And then obviously this part he's covering it, so I'm gonna have to see other pictures. But most of it seems okay for me. Now the only thing is that for the pickguard, I'm gonna have this whole thing covered and then have the jack here. So it's not gonna be exactly like that. I was gonna try to do it like continuation of it, but I'm like, you know what? I'll just probably do like probably little tiny stripes on that pickguard. You know, to have this here, and that there. I don't know. So yeah, I'm thinking the front looks okay for now. And then, you know, now I'm just gonna get started on the back side, get pictures on the back side, probably try to see the sides, how they look. And yeah, it's looking pretty decent, all right. I think I overcomplicated it for myself because it wasn't as hard as it should have been. The reason why is because these lines all connect in the back. In the other one, it was like I would go this way and then the back was like going a different direction. So with this one, it was like exactly how it's supposed to be. Like, I mean, I know I didn't get this right, and I kind of just like guessed it in a sense, but if you guys cut off the tape long enough and you guys turn it around, you know, cause the reason why I had to splice is because I kind of cut it too short when I did the front side. So I did have to splice it, but I think it'll look better for when you guys do the turn. So it's like, it actually looks a little bit more cleaner. Like this, all this, it literally like connected where it's supposed to be. Oh shit. So I fucked that up. I guess I'll just fix that up. Use a new piece because then I'll be screwed. Yeah, whatever. Just put this on here real quickly, pookly. You'll see like these patterns, like the other patterns, like the triangles and the squares. And you'll be like, oh, well, I guess it does connect with this side over here on this side. Anyways. Yeah, so now all we got left to do is paint it black. And then we'll be home free home. First, coat. Here's the body. I'm loving the stripes and everything, but there's some imperfections here. As you can see it right there. Right there. Yeah. The Bondo. And this was my fault because I should have just, you know, redone it. But you know what? It is what it is at this point. And over here, I'm pretty sure this happened because when I went to do this, I'm pretty sure all this like moved and like cracked when I was routing this cavity out. So, I mean, for what it is, it's not too bad. So what I'm gonna do now is basically just do the pickup cover thing. I mean the pickup cover, the pick guard. So I'm basically just gonna cut it out and have that cover there. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it white. I'm gonna see how it looks. If not, I might do like the stripes, but we'll see how that looks. And then we'll put the pick up and mount everything back on. I think we should be ready to go from there. Oh, and actually, one second. So these are the screw eyes that I'm using for this. I'll put a link in the description below. I didn't use this one for the other guitars because they're a little bigger, and I think this one actually is gonna look a lot better. I was trying to get the same one so it's like they all look alike. I think this one might look a little bit more on point, so, you know, 3/4. And also this can hold up to, you know, 130 pounds, so some good stuff right there. So that's that. Yeah, so let's get started on that pick guard and let's cut it up. All right, so got this pick guard cut. Rough sketch. I did it a little bigger just in case, you know. So here, I'm gonna see what it's gonna look like. Looks kind of stupid. I don't know, it just takes away from like this. So what I'm gonna have to do, this is kind of like, I'm gonna have to cut this for the pickup. I just want to see how much material we need to take out here. That goes there, that goes there. I guess we can come across here, cut this off a little bit. Yeah. Cut this off a little bit right there, and then try to work with that. Yeah, so when you guys go to do this, try not to use a double-sided sticky tape to get a straight line, because then you're going to be stuck with this crap. This comes off with some glue gun or something, so I'm not too worried. Let's see. Okay. Covers it up perfectly. All right, I'm liking that. Now I'm gonna just have to go cut a little notch right there. And I think we should be ready. Where did I put them? Let's basically try to figure this out here first. Yeah, perfect. So I know exactly what to cut, you know? Ew. Just straighten that out a little bit. That always just happens to me, you know? Just never get it the way I want it to. But you know what? That's part of life. Actually, I'm gonna go a little bit more back. Jesus. Multimeters, man. Alright, so it's not going to be super pretty, but I'm guessing that's where that's going to live. Around there. Might as well. So now all we got to do is just paint this sucker. And then we'll be good to go. So we're gonna go with the same procedures. Of course, you're gonna want to scuff this up so the paint can stick to it. So 500 grit sandpaper. Doesn't take too much. All right, so here it is, almost 90% finished, I would say. So we got Pickguard didn't come out how I wanted it to come out. I kind of messed up here, like was trying to get every line like correct, which I kind of got almost a little like right there and right there. But then I forgot to put the little tape right there, so it's like a minor imperfection right there. But the fact that I did that just to like cover this, so it like blends in, I guess it works. But, and also while I was working on it, I realized, man, I should have just capped this off and drilled the hole so it comes out through here, because that would have been easy. But you know what, it's fine, I'll just have it there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Got this. Oh, and the headstock here kind of went with the same thing with the black and white with the little volute thing. Didn't come out as clean, but you know what, guys, like I said in my other one, it's a project guitar, you know. It's not like I'm trying to sell these things. And plus, like, if you guys do this, it'll be like your own unique touch to it. I guess you can say. But yeah, I need to get started on this fret job, because yeah, this thing is completely like indented and just dirty. And yeah, so I'm gonna get started on this now, and then from there we just wire everything up, and I think we should be 100% finished. So here's the neck, nice little fret job. I wasn't gonna go into too much detail because I'm like, is it worth doing a refret? All right, so now all I gotta do is just put everything back. The only original parts that I'm gonna use, I guess you can say, would be the output jack. I just cleaned it up a little bit, and the back plate. Just cleaned them both up. The claw is gonna be new. I'm gonna use a 500K CTS pot. A black tone knob. Now for the bridge, you know, of course I'm not going to use this. I was going to clean it up, and I'm like, got a little lazy. Tried using this Ibanez bridge that I had. So I wanted it in chrome like that, but it doesn't fit right where it's supposed to. And I didn't want to start drilling new holes, so I found this black one. So fits perfectly in there, so I'm going to just use that. Now, for the pickup, right, I was either going to get the Super Distortion or like a Seymour Duncan Custom, or something that he's like known for, right? Or like another EVH humbucker that I got for the black and white one. I was considering of winding my own, like with the clear bobbin, so you can see the coil. Because in the Van Halen 2 album, you can see that he's got the clear bobbins on there. So I was thinking of doing that, but then I said, you know what would make it more special, right? So I was going through my box of pickups, and I found this guy, and it's just appropriate, you know. It's going to be a double tribute guitar, you know, because these two go well in hand together. If you know the story, they go well in hand. So that's going to be what's going to be going in here. Set it all up, put the neck back, and I think we should be done with this. Do I look as cool as Eddie Van Halen? This project was super awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'm extremely proud of how this one came out, to be honest. You know, there was like some small imperfections. If you guys go down the route that I did it, you know, with like this kind of pickup configuration and seal up everything using the Bondo or whatever wood filler you guys use to really seal it off. But other than that, man, like, I'm so proud of this thing, dude. Like, yeah, I got like I did get some drippage and some bleed, but like I said in my black and white one, I'm proud of it. And this whole little pickguard thing going on here. Oh, and I had this one in chrome, but then I found like a little black one, so I just put that in there so it kind of blends in. I was thinking also of like doing the stripe, the yellow stripe there, so it really blends in. But you know what? I kind of just give up and said, screw it, I'll just leave it like that. Because I really wanted to play it so bad. And you know, like, I did that little volute thing back on the headstock, painted the headstock. But yeah, man, like, it sounds and plays freaking awesome. And that's the beauty of these kind of guitars, man. You can literally do whatever you want with it. Of course, I don't have a maple neck again, like with the other one, because this is all I had. I had to do the little fret job because these frets were completely destroyed. So the story of the black and yellow guitar, right? The infamous story of this guitar. Eddie Van Halen in 1979, Christmas Eve of 1979, he went to the Whiskey A Go Go, I think that was the name of the bar in California, and he said that, you know, he went there to go see the band The Weasels. And, you know, he said that he saw the guitarist, I think his name was Greg, forgot his last name, but basically he saw him playing his black and yellow striped guitar, and he said he completely got pissed off. That's his trademark. You know, he was completely pissed off because he saw his guitar up there, and he was like, I don't think it was exact like how his was, but the stripe pattern, that's his trademark. You know, if anybody sees the stripes, they know it's his guitar. And he was completely pissed, and he was like, you guys can't be doing that kind of stuff. And the whole infamous thing with Grover Jackson. Story goes that Eddie went to Charvel and he wanted them to route out his pickup, because like when he did his Frankenstein guitar, he basically like routed this out with like a chisel, and he was like, it wasn't a good job. Thing was that he wanted one pickup, one knob, and he wanted it back routed. So he went to Grover Jackson and he was like, all right, I want you guys to do this. And he basically saw that they had 6 guitars, black and yellow striped guitars there, and he went crazy. And he was like, you guys can't be doing this, and you know, he threatened to sue them, and he told Grover Jackson, you know, you can't be doing that without his consent, basically. Whatever happened is history, you know? With this guitar, with my little replica, I decided I wanted to have a pickup in here that really meant something, you know, in a weird sense. I wanted to have either Seymour Duncan custom or like a DiMarzio super distortion. Now I was looking at all the different pickups he had, and you know, he's a guy that's constantly, you know, swapping necks, swapping pickups, you know, just tinkering around with his guitars. And that's something that I personally love doing. You know, I love tinkering around with my guitars. So I was like really thinking, what pickup can I put in here? And it hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, man, the only appropriate pickup, and it's honestly my favorite pickup, is the Dimebucker. I put this Dimebucker in here. Why? Because in 2004, when Dimebag Darrell passed away, you know, he was murdered on stage. You know, his last words were Van Halen, you know, to his brother Vinnie Paul. You know, and that's something that they would always say right before going on stage. Saying Van Halen is kind of like saying, you know, let's rock out, let's tear this place down. And, you know, to them, that was something special. So when he passed away in 2004, Rita Haney and Vinnie Paul were thinking, what guitar can they put in the casket with Dimebag to bury him with? Kiss already had given them like a custom casket, because Kiss was like one of Dimebag's favorite bands too, growing up. What guitar can we bury him with? Eddie and Dimebag became real close, like right before he passed away, a few weeks before that. And Dimebag Darrell also offered Eddie Van Halen $30,000 for one of his like original guitars. Like he was like, I'll pay you $30,000 for one of your guitars. So, you know, he denied it, you know, but no hard feelings, right? No, he denied it. He was like, I can't, you know, give away one of my guitars. So when he passed away, Eddie said, you know what, I'm going to give you guys one of my guitars. And everybody was thinking, oh, it's going to be a replica of like, you know, either the Frankenstrat or, you know, the black and white or even the black and yellow. Because Rita Haney and Vinnie Paul told Eddie Van Halen that the black and yellow guitar was one of his favorite guitars. You know, it was like one of the most like badass guitars that he said that really stood out to him, you know, Dimebag. And Eddie Van Halen said, okay, you know, so he shows up to the funeral with the original black and yellow, and he buried him with it, you know, so that's where the original black and yellow is. And, you know, Eddie said an original deserves an original. So, man, like that to me was like, holy crap, you know, that's where that original black and yellow is, you know, buried with Dimebag Darrell. So, man, like I had to put this pickup in here, a double tribute to both legends, you know, Eddie Van Halen and Dimebag Darrell. And it's just appropriate because this guitar, the original black and yellow, is buried with Dimebag. So, man, this guitar to me, it's going to be one of my other ones that I'm like, it's extremely special to me. Yeah, man, I'm so proud of this guitar, man. Like, even though, like I said, it's not one of those expensive guitars. It's not something that I was like saying, I need this specific body and I need this specific neck. I need hardware that is going to be exact specs. I said, you know what? If this is what I have, I'm going to work with it. And that's something you guys can do also, you know, because Eddie, like I said in my black and white one, Eddie was always just, you know, tinkering and always putting different stuff. And, you know, I kind of was like considering, like I said earlier, I was considering making this out of a Kramer Beretta special. If you guys go down this route and, you know, want to seal it up and twist it a little bit, and even though this pickup is not like directly on point, it's a little bit more that way, to me it sounds awesome. But yeah, man, I hope you guys enjoy this video. And if you guys want more content like this, because I do have a few more Eddie Van Halen guitars that I want to make, like, comment, subscribe. You guys have been doing so awesome on the comments, you know, telling me just awesome stuff. And, you know, that to me keeps me going. I appreciate every single comment, every single view. And so like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, share it with guys that are Van Halen fans. And I hope it helped you guys, you know, be real creative and make you want to appreciate the man himself, you know, because, you know, these guitars, man, like like I said in my other video, you're going to spend thousands of dollars, or you can just make it your own, make it unique, make it special for you, you know, because, you know, you put your time and effort, you can give your own little tweaks and your own little quirky things, you know, like I did. But, man, I absolutely love it, man. I hope, you know, you guys took something out of this video. And with that, I'll catch you guys on the next video.